Hey everyone, I'm Ellen here at etrailer.com. Today we're taking a look at the Pacer Performance High 5 LED truck cab lights. These are going to be a great addition to any kind of vehicle that you want to have that big rig look for and make it a little bit more noticeable when you're out on the road, especially if you're going to be driving a lot, going through inclement weather, fog, rain, snow, things like that. And this is going to have that kind of classic tapered design, a little more old school for you, and it also has the metal chrome base. So these look pretty slick. Comes with the LED bulbs as well as the incandescence, so you can use whichever one is your preference. Personally, I would go more for the LEDs since they're going to be a bit longer lasting and more efficient, but it's up to you there. I'm going to show you guys how to get this set up and ready to go to be installed. To get this in place on your vehicle, you will have to do some drilling unless you already have holes to mount these to, but most likely you won't unless you're replacing an old kit or something like that. But if you're adding it new to a vehicle, you do have to do some modifications. So just a heads up there. Basically, we're going to take one of these little spring and plate assemblies, and that's going to drop down in there, and that's going to be our contact point for our bulb to sit in there. So I'm going to take one of my LED guys, pop that into place, and it should just go down and turn about a quarter or an eighth of a turn, and then it's locked in place. You can see we have a little foam gasket around the base where our lens goes, and this doesn't exactly clip into place. You kind of have to line it up by eye. Grab one of the long machine screws and then tighten that down. I'm not going to tighten this down all the way. I just want to kind of give you an idea of what it looks like illuminated. So I'm also going to connect this to power in just a second. But really probably need a actual screwdriver rather than using your finger like I'm trying to do. But that's basically the idea, is that it's going to be looking like that. And then if we take our red wire, that's going to be our power, and the ground is going to go through the chrome. So I'm going to ground out to the metal here. Whenever you put your hardware through, it should provide that grounding connection through that gasket as well, so that'll be your connection there. But as you can see, that LED is nice and bright. It's not going to be so bright that we're going to blind anybody else on the road. It's not going to really create more light for the road to be more visible to us. It just makes us more visible to other people drive around out on the road with us. So I'm going to turn the lights out in the studio, give you a better look at how that's going to look when it's mounted onto your vehicle. So nice and bright. Amber color is pretty traditional or typical for those clearance lights or those visibility lights. It's going to look for the same for all 5. The incandescent bulbs are going to be a little bit dimmer if you decide to use those. Not so much that they're unusable, but just a note with those. So we'll get our quick splice connectors so we can run all our wiring together. Since your wiring is probably going to be going inside your vehicle, you don't really have to worry about any kind of water contamination or water issues with that quick splice. Normally, I like to switch those out for something a little bit more durable, but since you're going to have one wire going between all 5 lights, those quick splices actually make that kind of easy to do. The wire that you get here is going to be this length of red wire, and then we'll also have another small length with a fuse and a fuse holder in line. So everything's going to be fuse protected. One end of this goes into the back of the switch that's provided, and then we'll have another spade there to go on the other side of that switch. With the switch, you can bypass your factory wiring and just have its own power switch, so you don't have to worry about voiding any warranties on your vehicle, especially if it's a newer vehicle that you're putting this into. I mean, you're going to be drilling holes, so that might be avoiding your warranty anyway, but a lot of times doing anything with the electrical stuff, especially hard wiring, you're going to avoid warranty. But if you are not worried about it, or your vehicle doesn't have a warranty anymore, then no worries there. The other screws that we get are going to be to actually mount the metal foot to our vehicle, and then these little rubber O-rings are going to be there to protect the mounting points from any kind of water getting in place there. So As long as you have everything mounted up pretty nice and tight, get everything nice and snug, it should be okay. This edge along the back isn't really protected. There's no grommet right there, so I'm not sure that it would make a huge difference since there is a grommet going around this edge where it would actually get to the light, and then we've got our big grommet going down over there. But if you want to pick up some silicone sealant for the mounting holes maybe into your vehicle, it's not a bad idea. It's probably something that I would do. You can pick up silicone sealant right here at etrailer.com if you're interested. This is a universal fit. It'll work on just about anything. I will point out that this base has a curved design, so it kind of tapers down. Might be a little hard to see that there, but if we put it on the table, you see it rocks. That's just because the belly there is a little hollowed out. So it will follow the contour of your vehicle. And since we have this nice big pad, even if your vehicle is a more flat roof, it should still conform to it. But that's something to keep in mind there. If you're noticing a gap, that's just the design of those mounts. Those LEDs are replaceable. It's a bulb style of number 67. So if you want to replace those at any point, probably shouldn't since they are LEDs. They should last for a good long while, but that's going to be the bulb style again for the incandescence as well. The overall length of our mounts here, about 7 7/8 of an inch long by about 2.5 inches wide, roughly. And then the height is going to be tricky with our shade in place there. It's about 2 3/4 inches tall. Overall, really nice looking system. I think that these are some of the nicer looking of the cab lights. I like the kind of old school look of these, that teardrop style, pretty beefy looking, and I think they'll do a great job lasting for a long time for you. But that's pretty much going to do it for our look at the Pacer Performance High 5 LED truck cab lights. If you need any other accessories for your vehicle, you can always trust etrailer.com to provide you with the information you need to make your purchase. Thanks for watching.